to the Ride the Wave Show. I'm your host here, Clay. As always, my right-hand man, but he's going to be on my left. Is going to be Adam B-Dubs. And then the always Tony Tone here. We are finally all back together. We had a great time for this past weekend. We all got together. We were going to go to the Vinton County game, but we ended up getting to be out there for the Maple Leaf. Then we get to do some change of plans like we said on Friday night. Then on Saturday night, we got to have a wiener dog race. Tony, tell the people about how great that wiener dog race was.
I'm not going to lie to you. It was such a blast. There was a couple times I had to tell everybody, look around and be like, look at all these people here. There's not a single person that is like doesn't have a massive smile on their face. Very rarely does that happen in today's world. There's so many different opinions and stuff like that. So when you can get that many people together feeling that good, it was so much fun, man.
It was, man. Adam, how did you feel about the wiener dog race?
Oh, no, like he said, it's just so much fun. It was just a fun environment down there. It was just a, nice Oktoberfest feel on top of the wiener dog race. It was just a nice little environment Chillicothe's putting out there. I just love what the city's doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to the winner who was Boris, an absolute elite specimen.
Yes.
Actually, in the one heat that he won, you can see he stops, makes a friend. They're like, hey, it's nice to meet you.
Pal?
They kind of exchange notes, go around, realize that the other two dogs have left the entire track, and he says, hey, why not? Beelines it to the end like a freaking bullet, then goes on to the next step, and then the virtual next one after that to take, his place in the history books.
Hey, we had a couple of Henrys in there, too. So Henry won. I don't think he got the dub. Henry Jr. tries to be an imposter there. He didn't get in there. My favorite was Kobe. Mamba mentality. He actually got his little dub, and then, he doesn't come away as a champion. But, Tony, you had a nice little time emceeing. Adam, we had a good time over there in the side area, in the bushes, as they would say. It was a good time, and we saw some good fast wieners out there.
Yeah, they were running fast. They were running hard.
Yeah,
they were running all around.
I know we had a good time with that. We want to jump into that sports world now. Charlie Lewis and the Westfall girls going to state, picking state. Shout out to them. Getting ready to go out there. Charlie Lewis comes up with that big W. And then, again, the Westfall girls, they have their big W. So we got a couple of state contenders here in the SVC. Good to see them around. I know we had some from Logan Elm as well. Kind of out of our coverage area, so I didn't look too much into that. But Charlie Lewis and the Westfall girls, again, both going to state. Looks like Charlie will be around 10-13, 10-14 on those dates. And then the Westfall girls should be up around October 20th and the 21st. We wish you luck. We know whatever you guys shoot, it would be way better than whatever we would shoot. So, Tony, you get on the links a few times. What does it mean for these guys to be going to state? I'm excited.
To be honest with you, again, you want all the experience. You want to start something in your program. This isn't something that might not just be this year. Maybe it resonates to the people underneath them and those students coming up. So if this is something that they can keep up, that's how you start doing things and start building programs.
Yeah, it's always nice when you have people going to state from around here. You know what I mean? Doing good. Again, glad that we got the audio in here now. We kind of came off to a rush start, but just in case you didn't hear us before that. The wiener dog race over the weekend was a really, really good time. Adam, you're officially back. How does it feel back to be in the studio, my man?
It feels amazing. I love being here. I'm glad that I'm back in person. I'm not calling in anymore. It's kind of rocky. Sometimes I'd lose sound. Sometimes the internet would go out. It wasn't fun. I'm just glad to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you back here too. It just feels good. We all here in the same room finally for the first time in what feels like forever, man. It's finally good for us all to be here. We wanted to go ahead and just dive right in some of the football. Let's look at Piketon. They beat Southeastern 46-26. Southeastern still, kind of getting out of the gates slow here for the SVC. The Piketon 2-3 in the league, 5-3 overall. Tony, what did you think about the Red Streaks this week?
They needed kind of one of these statement wins, and again, Southeastern. I know they've kind of struggled this year, but you gotta get your confidence back in you because Here recently, I actually saw Buddy Wilson got a Player of the Week from the Gazette here recently as well. But then there's been a couple games that, the one that we saw against Uniota, they started really well, but man, really sour ending to that. It really just felt like they got. I don't want to be too degrading, but it really they stuck it to him there in the second half.
Right. Well, I mean, Zane Brownfield, I'm pretty sure Buddy, he was out this week with an injury. If not,
concussion, I believe.
Yeah, and Zane Brownfield, he steps out 24 carries, 163, and 2 tutties. Adam, I know you as the fantasy commissioner, we've been looking kind of over the stats. Look, with Caleb Cutright, he gets 133 this week, and Joey Piper throwing for 74 yards. Who were some people in this Piketon Southeastern game that kind of stood out to you?
I mean, honestly, yeah, you got Caden, you got Joey. Is it Brent McGuire over there, the Piketon receiver?
Receiver.
I haven't got a chance to look at the stat line yet. We haven't got him in. But I say usually he's always having a good week. Usually he's having good Friday nights every week, week in, week out. But yeah, I say it's just they're getting to the nitty gritty part of their schedule. The 3 losses they have are all in conference. That's it's kind of like yin and yang with Zane Trace, where all their. I think this is still a good team.
Yeah.
I'm looking for them to kind of hopefully win out the rest of the season, but that's just me.
Yeah, I feel like they still have some stuff to offer.
Do you wonder if Piketon lets up the 26 against Southeastern if Zane Brownfield is fresh on defense?
No.
You know what I mean? Do you think that affects that? When you really look at how the Piketon defense is and how stout they can be. When you hear 24 carries, 2 tutties, that's really nice. But what's that mean for the defense?
Yards,
yeah, I mean,
and if you're lacking Buddy was
when you're knocking heads literally all night, when you're constantly on offense running people over, then on defense your main job is to. I'm pretty sure murder people. That's your number one job. I mean, you're going to get tired.
To get payback on the offensive side as well as the defensive side now.
Yeah,
believe it.
You're going to get tired eventually, man. Especially late in the season, week 7 of the season. I mean, you're getting, week 8 of the season. You're getting late into the year. Those legs are getting tired. I know, obviously, Zane Brownfield wouldn't say that. He said, "I'm never tired." But you've been taking those shots all year. Then you come into a game where you are now the lead back and the leader on defense. I agree with you. I don't think they give up as many points. They're still only giving up 26 points is good. Another thing that's good is scoring 56. And that's something that Westfall did against Adena in their win, winning 56-10. Bryce Wickline officially named the king of Westfall, and then blows up in the game for 368. Not 1. Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, 6 touchdowns.
7.
6 touchdowns.
He had 1 on the ground.
And then a running touchdown. What? Man, Westfall, this is the offense. We thought, this is a power of 2 offenses, right? We've been talking, Adena, got to watch out for that explosive offenses. They got fire shades, everything. Westfall, obviously, we've been seeing this offense blowing up all single year. So we thought, hey, high scoring and fair, but Westfall blows up, and then their defense shows up, only allowing 10 points to an explosive Adena offense. I mean, Adam, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, to go back to the pregame show we did last Wednesday, I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. I thought this game was going to be a lot closer than it was. I knew Westfall had their offensive thing going. I just figured Adena would be able to come out and get theirs going a little bit more. But yeah, we had Bryce Wickline, 6 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. You have Joey Wright, the running back, having 3 catches for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Say Trent Walters, great receiver. So I believe he had 7 receptions, 196 yards.
You had
3
Joey
touchdowns.
Wright with 135 on the ground with 2 tutties, and then Trent Joey Wright had 3 catches for 135. My apologies.
My God, what's the average on that, boss?
Yeah, a lot to a lot.
You know what my favorite thing about that game is? 8 for 8 on the PATs.
Yeah.
For the brand.
Yeah.
They have, I'm not saying it's, they might not be the
Secret
top
weapon.
of the standings, but they have a soccer program, right? Is Carson Deskins, who 8 for 8?
8 for 8.
Is that, I wonder if he's a soccer player.
It would be good.
I really want
good
this
reporters
ratio
would know that.
I'm telling you, being an outsider and kind of coming in from the week 1, talking to the guy up at Paint Valley who looked at me and was like, dude, we don't have a soccer team.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that makes sense.
But yeah, they come up with a huge win. The lone touchdown for Adina there coming from Joey Francis, a young guy. He's really kind of stepped up for that.
What do you have, like 5 catches? I
Yeah,
believe?
5
9?
catches for 9.5,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
say, you say he's a young guy, sophomore, freshman.
I'm pretty sure sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yes.
So that's good for Adina, having some young
especially
talent out
with
there.
him and a young quarterback in Lucas King. They might have something brewing here for years down the road. Things not years down the road is this Unioda team. They come in, they beat Zane Trace in the Ohio State versus Michigan, Duke versus North Carolina, Yankees versus Red Sox, whatever you want to rivalry reference this as, and beat Zane Trace to keep pretty much their first battle of the gold ball alive here with them and Zane Trace. Newt Hoops went 20 for 31, 172 with a tutty. Ethan Summer, I mean, he's just out there still running through people's faces, 107 and a touchdown. Caden Cutright had 2 catches for 50 and a touchdown. Most importantly, had a game-sealing 88-yard pick six for the win, like we said.
88 yards.
88.
88 yards.
88 yards.
88 yards.
Jeez Louise. And then Ashton Crace, he had a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He's doing something every single week to get his name out there. It's
defensive
insane.
Defensive God.
Exactly. Defensive, and it looks like special teams God as well. But, first quarter it's 7-7, half it's 7-7, end of the third it's 14-14. I mean, it's a game back and forth. We really didn't know who's going to win until Newt and Caden were like, hey, we know who's going to win. Us.
Shout out Spencer, I think it's Brower over there on the Zane Trace side getting 2 sacks.
Yeah. Riley Hartzell
that,
stepping up with 67 yards. Carter Langley comes back for the game of the year, 18 carries, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We can sit here and tell you what it's like to be, or what we would think it'd be like to be in the game, but what we could do is get 2 of the most dynamic duos in the league. The one, the only, New Hoops and Caden Cutright! Guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. All right. So, hey, looks like you're live somewhere from Unioda. Where are you guys calling us from?
Yep. We're in the locker room. We're in the coach's office right now.
Oh, heck yeah. Hey, exclusive access to the Unioda coach's locker room. Only seen here on Ride the Wave Show. Exclusive inside look here. So, guys, we're talking about your game on Friday. You guys end up winning 27-14. Newt, we've talked to you about being in big games like this against Zane Trace. It's your guys' Michigan. It's your guys' Alabama, Auburn. What's it like for you, Newt, and then also you, Caden, to go out there and not just win a rivalry game, but also winning it to keep your gold ball hopes alive?
It's huge. It's one of the greatest feelings you can have in football, beating your rival.
Oh yeah.
And doing it with your brothers and the guys you love. It was an experience that it was an experience for sure, but it was really fun.
Hell yeah. What about you, Caden?
It was awesome playing both ways. Last year I only played defense, so it was nice playing both ways and seeing how it is on both sides of the ball.
Man, that says, like, playing both sides of the ball, you have absolutely exploded this year as a wide receiver. On defense, still doing what you did in years past, obviously pick 6 to win the game. I mean, what can you attest to, just blowing up this year as a wide receiver, being a guy that Newt can really lean on here?
It's nice when he can lean on me, but we also got other receivers and other defensive backs who we can lean on too.
Hell yeah.
So that helps a lot.
Yeah. So in the offseason, you guys work a little bit more in the offseason to kind of get this connection going a little bit more this year, or what is it?
For sure. I mean, I knew going into the offseason we were going to have some new guys playing this year at the varsity level. So, I mean, any day I would text the guys and be like, hey, let's go throw on the field this time. We'll be there for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Just get some work in and get better. So anytime we could, we got work in and we got better.
Hell yeah. So, hey, you guys go into the half. You're tied 7-7. I know your dad obviously was super chillax, totally not hyped up, totally chill in that locker room. How was that locker room? What was the speeches like, and what kind of helped you guys get over the hump to seal the deal this year?
I mean, the speeches he gives, they really get us going.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know what it is, but it really gets us going. And then, I mean, it's just it pumps us up. They're hype. They're meaningful, and it's awesome. And then same thing with halftime. Be like, it's 0-0. He'll give the same speech and be like, "Let's go play our game." So
Hell yeah.
it's really cool.
I got a question. Every week, it seems like you guys are throwing another running back out there to just play absolute elite football. Are you guys doing that matchup to matchup basis? Like, we've seen Ethan Summer, we've seen Reinhardt week 1, we've seen so many. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, are you guys kind of picking and choosing? Is it just like, hey, buddy, I need the night off. I just need a little rest and relaxation. I want to kick back. You mind if I get this one? Okay, I'll take this game. And it just really seems like you're having success on the ground.
It's like
with
pick your poison over
anybody
here.
you put back there. But you guys all are a little bit different as well. But can you speak on
Right.
that a little bit?
No, we go off of who we're playing each week, of how we're going to run the ball, where we're going to run the ball, and then whoever's like working hard and can actually run against that defense, they'll play Friday, and it really shows off to have depth in our run game, and it's huge because all of our running backs, Connor, Ethan, James, Mills, all those guys, they're huge for us, and it's really nice at the running position.
Heck yeah.
Caden, I want to ask you. We've gotten to see you get some amazing one-on-one matchups this year. You one-on-one, you and Cody Swords, and then Piked and you versus Brent McGuire. Not only you covering him on defense, but he's covering you when they're on defense. What's it like, those one-on-one matchups? Are we talking some trash out there? Or do you let them know, hey, I'm better than you, here it is, blam? Like, how is it like having those one-on-one matchups?
Well, I don't really talk during the game, so
Hell yeah.
we just
Let the play do
play
the
out.
talking. He's like, I don't need to talk. You see it.
I really do believe if you count both sides of the ball, some may be better in other categories. If you average them right down the middle, I don't think there's a better all-around player.
Yeah.
If you look at it, I was a cornerback all through high school. I didn't get to play both sides of it, so I can't speak on the wide receiver. But I think you take whether it's a route where you come back to the ball and you could just plant that foot and come back to it. Sometimes you do that better than the receiver you're covering.
Yeah.
And I think that ability comes from being a good wide receiver. So I assume it just translates so well in your game. And honestly, for
Do you
somebody
take
that
those
likes
matchup
footwork, I
personally?
appreciate it.
Do you take it? I mean, I know you're a big team guy, but you take that matchup personally?
Yeah, pretty personal.
Hell yeah. I love that. Adam, you got some questions?
I say one of the biggest questions I had is for you, Hoops. I was just asking. So coming off a record-breaking week, is the approach different going into this game, knowing how big it is, and possibly trying to maybe settle down and not think too much about the week before or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we we enjoyed last week's win for the night and for Saturday, and then Saturday midnight, it's go time. Paint Valley's on our mind. From when it hits midnight, that's when we're thinking about Paint Valley in the next week and how we can prepare for it.
So I want to ask that.
Love
You
hearing that.
guys are kind of going through the gauntlet here. It's kind of fun
Absolutely.
how the SVC's schedule kind of wind up here. You guys have Piketon early, get Huntington in the middle. Then you have, obviously, Zane Trace here, right? And then, like you just said, no time to rest. You have Paint Valley again. So you have 2 games back-to-back, gold ball on the line. Me being a Notre Dame fan, I'm kind of going through 4 ranked opponents in a row. Kind of what you guys are going through here, back-to-back ranked opponents. How do you not, I don't know, put all your energy into one game and make sure you have enough for this one? How do you not
How do you
get
stay
too
mentally
hyped for the
tough and
moment?
prepared
Yes.
for each game each week, especially in the hardest part of this?
Yes.
We definitely think at this part of the year, it's more of a mental towards the end of the year. I mean, you can do all the physical stuff on the off season at the beginning of the year, hitting and all that stuff. And yeah, we're gonna still do that stuff in practice, but I mean, it's more of a mental part of the game now. Like you've got to lock in on what the plays we're running, run them the right way, and if you got to want it. It's a big time mentality thing. You just got to want it.
Hey, playoff football kind of starts now because obviously, locked in for the playoffs, but playoffs are kind of out of your mind now. It's get that gold ball, get the SVC title, and honestly, I love to hear it. We'll have some fun with you guys before you get out of here. So, got a couple of questions for you. Get both your answers here. I think I know one answer from one of the guys. We're going to ask, who do you guys think has the best hands on the team? Caden, I know you're probably going to say yourself.
Oh God.
I don't know.
Who? All right.
You both can have different answers.
The pressure's
All right,
on
all right,
me.
all right, all right. All right. So I think everyone's got great hands, but when sometimes I'll go in at scout team O and mess around with the scout team guys, and I'll tell you one guy that does not drop a pass. That is Levi Bean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, we saw a big touchdown by him against Huntington.
Yeah.
Big catch and run by him.
Yeah.
Excellent answer there, say. Everybody has
Yeah.
great hands. Excellent answer there.
We definitely set you up there. Great answer.
Triple beam dream.
Yes.
I like it.
Okay, so we know you guys like to keep it cordial. You know, we see you get the
All
touchdown.
right, we can get Caden's answer on that one.
Oh, yeah, Caden, who is your answer on that one?
I would go with Levi too.
Okay,
He
Levi.
gets
All right,
so
so
much
Levi
help.
across the board. So we know you guys keep it cordial. You know, you don't like to show off too much, but in practice, I know you guys see him. Who has the best touchdown dance? If it's one of you, I want to see it. Who has the best touchdown dance or celebration?
I don't even know. Do we even?
No, we
We
don't,
don't really.
celebrate.
Not even in practice. Really.
Oh,
These
okay.
guys are too
Hey,
serious.
keep
They're
it,
too
keep
serious.
it all
They're all
business.
about the business.
Keep it all business. I like it. I
Now,
like
one
it.
thing I will say,
Well,
I was at a
we'll do
game
a
where
little,
Caden
like-
caught a long touchdown pass, and I felt like there was almost like a Deion Sanders before he got in the end zone. It wasn't as flary, but it seemed like you were slowing down in a pretty fancy fashion because there was no one around. I don't know if that's considered a touchdown dance.
I love it. I love
I
it.
loved every
guess
second
the
of
only
it.
celebration.
All right.
Oh.
Hey, so last question
Go ahead.
here. Okay. You got one main course for the rest of your life. It has to either be pizza, burger, or fried chicken. You got to keep one, get rid of two. Which one are you keeping? Newt, we'll start with you.
Pizza, fried chicken, and loaves.
No burger.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep a burger.
All right, so burger. So you never have fried chicken or pizza again. All righty. So you go with
okay.
the burger. Caden, who you going with?
I like chicken, but I'm gonna have to go with the burger too.
All righty. So burgers across the board. Good pick. I'd have to go with pizza that personally. What about you, Tony?
See, I like both those answers because you can customize a lot. Like
Yeah.
the burger can be done in a million different ways.
Yeah.
So I
By
like
a million
the,
different people, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I really like the wide variety that you
I
can.
feel
it's
like with
definitely
pizza, the
it's the
worst
most
slice of pizza is
versatile.
still a slice of pizza, though.
This is very true.
Adam?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go burger with them. Just
Oh,
because,
wow.
you
Okay.
know.
All right. Well, hey, guys, first, last thing before you get out of here, those black jerseys that you wore,
Ooh.
sick, dude. Those were
Shout out to
beautiful.
Dr. Cohen.
Yeah.
Yes,
Dr.
they,
Cohen.
black on black. Oh, if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check out Union Yoda's, I think Twitter and your guys' Facebook page have this. So go
I
check
think it's
those
on
out.
Instagram too. You talk about the
Yeah.
coming out video they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real sick.
Super dope. So go check that out. Guys,
And-
congratulations on your rivalry win on Friday. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to be here with us. And good luck to you guys on this Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, everybody, the tag team duo over at Union New Hoops and Kaden Cartwright.
Batman and Robin, dynamic duo, but you know it's both. It's like if they were both Batmans.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, man, what a hard duo to stop, man. I mean, you see those guys. I know they're saying, everyone on the team, has good hands. You got to spread the ball. You got to say that whenever, you're asked the tough questions, obviously, that we ask here. But there's something about that duo this year that's been hard to stop for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, especially when you have Blake Hoops on the other side. And again, we talked about the running backs having a lot of them. There's still a lot of other guys that are catching balls on that side of the ball. So it makes it easy for them to have that connection. You know what I mean? When you have, I mean, honestly, we saw Cody Swords go against him, and we saw these things, but I really haven't seen anybody get the best of him.
Yeah.
So it's like even when the number one corner's on him, so you looked at Piketon, who actually tried to put two guys shade over towards him, and that did not work whatsoever for them. So I really think it's pick your poison, and it's going to be really, really hard to keep up.
I think one of the biggest things with them is with them being such a dynamic duo, it helps open up some of those other receivers. And as soon as that starts happening, and you start covering those guys, well then you're going one-on-one, other side again with Cutright. So
Yeah,
it's just kinda
and
pick your poison, like Tony said.
it kind of on what Newt said. Where I mean, he's the leading passer in the league with 1664. Check it out on Ride the Wave Show's website here, rtwavesports.com. But he's there at 1664 with not the top wide receiver until. Sorry, I was taking a look here. Yeah, Caden Cutright at 6 with 437. So that tells me that, like, obviously Caden is the top receiver there, but Blake Hoops is right behind him at 7th with 386. And that just means that he's spreading the ball all around because you have Ashton Crace at 328, which would put him around like 10th. So, yeah, you don't have the leading wide receiver in the league, but you have 3 receivers in the top 10. That just shows you that you don't have trust in just one receiver, but multiple. And that's something that you have to have after losing a big-time receiver like Maddox Fox last year. I mean, you look at, Tom Brady, he had Randy Moss. They go off. They have a great year, everything like that. Randy leaves. Everybody says, oh no, who's he going to throw it to now? You have the Wes Welker. You have the Rob Gronkowski. You have the Danny Amendola. You have this kind of people step up. Same with Peyton Manning. Everywhere he went, it seemed like you had multiple wide receivers. Yeah, you had the Marvin Harrisons and the Demaryius Thomases where they stepped up. They were the number one guy. They were the one to go to. But whenever you didn't have that number one guy, the quarterback's able to adapt the trust of, hey, I don't have a number one guy, but I have 5 guys that I truly trust equally.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You kind of saw it this week with the Vikings game when the Vikings, they ended up losing, but still they had Jefferson go down. They had Addison kind of step up. They also had, I believe his name is Osborne. You had Madison, a running back, splitting out a little bit, taking a couple of receptions, just kind of, just when you lose that threat, you need the rest of your team to kind of step up for you.
Exactly. Tony?
When you have even just Ashton Crace, it's nuts to me because if you look at all-purpose yards, which would be almost impossible to track, we really wish we could, but him having a massive kickoff return is always nice. That's not his first of the year. It's like he loves punting and punt returns. You know what I mean? It's like he just does so much for the team. So I think that gives a little bit of confidence, again, to not only give him the ball. He's 10th in the league in receiving yards, but he's also number 2 in yards per catch. So it just kind of shows that it may not be the same quantity that Caden Cutright's getting,
but
or even
quality.
Blake Hoops. It's quality.
Yeah. Hey, quality, not quantity, baby.
I drafted him.
Hey, speaking of quality, Payne Valley gets a quality win, 41-0 in the Maple Leaf. Braylon Robertson, he was out there absolutely tearing up that defense along with Preston and all of them. They bring the Maple Leaf home, and they don't bring it home. It stays home. We actually had video of Braylon's training that we will be showing you guys here in a little bit. But Payne Valley brings that Maple Leaf home, baby, in a big, big way.
I mean, it was kind of one of those things. They came out fired.
Yes,
they just you felt it
from the first drive. I mean, they pop a big one with a run with Braylon Robertson, and they pop a big pass to Carson Free, then Bryson Dunham, then right back to Braylon Robertson. It's like, Jesus, who are we stopping here? You know what I mean?
That was the thing we talked about during the game was Braylon had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, and it still felt like he had a quiet first quarter and first half. But he did so much with so little touches. He didn't need to touch the ball.
Yeah, you touch the ball, and it is minimum 10-yard gain every single time, and that's just a test to him. But going into this game this week, I mean, point differential for Union Yoda is first at plus 17. Payne Valley's is plus 15.8. So I mean, you have and then points allowed. Union has given up 17.7. Payne Valley has given up 24.7. So, it all signs point to a very, very close game here.
It looking like it was going to be within 1 or 2 scores.
Yeah. And Tony, what's something that you're kind of looking forward to the Battle of the Gold Ball here this Friday?
Carson Free, Caden Cutright.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So you're sitting here, and as we stroll down here, Ashton Crace, another shout out. We talked about the punt return kicks up. Sitting up there with 4 interceptions. I'd love to see that. But Caden Cutright with 4, and then Carson Free with 2, sitting in 5th in the league. So it's like you sit there and, man, is that just going to be fun?
I think MVD, do we have Braylon's training video up there?
Live drone footage?
I think we do. I think we have the live footage. So, see, with takes like this, man, you can't be stopped. Look at Oh yeah, here we go. So this is live footage of Braylon Robertson trading in between. Look at look at this high stick. Look at this.
He doesn't.
Why do you think he can't be tackled? Look at that.
He doesn't even need the tires anymore
Yeah,
to do the
he has the
drill.
gold alternate jersey there. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got that
don't
live
mean-
drone
We
footage
don't
coming
mean
in.
to blow up your spot. We're sorry.
Yeah,
We
but
know you like
secrets are out.
practicing
I know.
some pretty crazy get-ups, but I mean, honestly speaking, we had to show the people how nasty you are and how hard you train.
yeah, sorry for giving away your training videos, your secrets, as you say there, Adam, but we had to let the people know that you are going through intense workouts to get here and to where you're at. I mean, it's insane what these Bearcats are doing to stay alive for the gold ball. That's why I think what you said, man, Carson Free versus King Cutright, Braylon Robertson versus Ethan Summer is something that I think is a 1v1 little matchup that is a little underlined because Ethan Summer running back, Braylon Robertson obviously running back. But the bigger thing is they're both middle linebackers. So they're going to be hitting each other all night, Adam.
That's something I think about with Zane Brownfield is maybe if he was doing it all season, maybe he have sustained the production that
Yeah.
maybe Braylon's. But over there, that defense is stout. So that's one matchup that I want to look at is the hoops versus the defense matchup.
Yeah.
Which is I think it's going to be an exciting game, whether it's a low scoring game or a high scoring game. I think it's still going to be exciting. A lot of hard nosed football being played.
I mean, Braylon Robertson, the leading rusher, 1291. I mean, by a landslide. The person in second place, guess what? His quarterback, Preston Faber, 753. You know what I mean? So there's one formula over there at Pay Valley. Run the ball. But the problem is, whenever they're running the ball, they have dynamic people on the outside, Carson Free, Bryson Dunham, to break open in the passing game.
Yeah, absolutely. I say one of the best things for the run is to be able to spread the ball out, not have everybody stack in the box. And I believe Braylon's also leading the league in touchdowns, right? With 23?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me see here. Touchdown. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking over this.
Right. It's one more up.
Yep. Yeah, so he has 20.
But he scored 3 this past Friday.
Yeah, so he's sitting at 23, and Newt has 18 passing touchdowns. So the people throwing the touchdowns aren't even getting them as much as Braylon's running them. I mean, again, second place is Blake Phillips at 13. 13? What? I mean, just insane. So the Week 9 schedule, you've heard us talk about it. Unyoda at Payne Valley, Battle of the Gold Ball. Then you have Dina. They'll head to Piketon. Piketon trying to stay on that winning track over there. Zane Trace, after their tough defeat against Unyoda, they go to Southeastern. Westfall will travel to Huntington after their big win. I kind of want to go back to that Unyoda Zane Trace game. Adam, did you have any thoughts on that game?
I mean, it was just. I thought it was a really well played game on both sides. You know, it was a 2-touchdown game there at the end, but that was because of the 88-yard touchdown ceiling pick six.
Yeah.
You know? So one thing I would say about that game is I think that the team that should be the most scared maybe going into this week is maybe Zane Trace is playing Southeastern.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like maybe coming off a loss, maybe not just being so focused on this game coming up.
Looking at Notre Dame whenever they went and played Duke, I mean, I still think it was Notre Dame going into Louisville. We watched that game this past weekend. I mean, it still looked like the loss to Ohio State just made them like, hey, our dreams are kind of over. You know what I mean? That was Zane Trace. Like, you still have your goals in front of you. I still think they can make the playoffs here and everything like that. But
I will say, I feel like these kids, they're not the kids to get down on themselves. So they might come out.
Yeah.
Beat them by a bunch. You beat them pretty handily, but at the same time, I still feel that this is it's a game to watch out for. Somebody that maybe might.
They're sitting in seventh. They're sitting in seventh. They control their own destiny. All right. I mean, if they win out, they make the playoffs. Probably stay there around that seventh. I mean, I don't know who that probably put them up against though, because it's top 16. So you're probably looking around like Bethel Tate or Madeira, and obviously we know a lot about them. Westfall, they're at 4-4. They're right outside the playoffs. Right outside the playoffs. They're not eliminated, so they got to win out. And I think they got
Huntington this week. I think it's gonna be a tough battle, but I think Westfall's their offense.
But after that, they have Piketon. So Westfall sitting at 19. I think, again, they have to win out to make the playoffs there. Piketon, they're sitting at 20th. They need some help. They're at 5-3.
Yeah, what Piketon team do we see then?
Yeah.
At that time. So
And then
you know,
when Piketon gets in, if they squeak in, they have a very easy road because they'll probably start with either Ironton, Fairfield, Harvest Prep, or West Muskingum. So
Fingers crossed it's Ironton.
yeah, you know what I mean. The going gets tough, but I think they make the playoffs. You got to still make the playoffs. It's tradition. It helps keep building the program going on. Obviously, we'll say it again. Crazy stat that we saw was Adena has a higher chance of making the playoffs than Piketon does.
That was going into week 8. That was before week 8. So
Yeah.
it was like after week 7 standings.
So they're still tied for 20th with Huntington. I mean, if Southeastern's above them, so sitting at 1-7, it kind of just comes down to the region that they're in. A little bit smaller region, a little bit easier way to squeak in there in one of those lower seeds. Now, if they squeak in there, they got Williamsburg or Versailles, or God forbid they get up there and they have to play Paint Valley again, which something we got last year was Paint Valley and Huntington playing against each other. So we can get some SVC battles in the playoffs now. Going outside the SVC, though, we'll start with Vinton County. Adam, supposed to be down there, obviously. Vinton County, don't worry. We'll have your pieces down there to you. Week 10 against that one team that we aren't allowed
Shall
to
not be
name.
named.
Yes. But they went 69-12 on their homecoming night. Adam, speak on that game a little bit.
I said they set the scoring record for, Vinton County as a high school. I said just a lot of fireworks going off. Hard-nosed football. Honestly, everybody kind of knew this game wasn't going to be close. At least when we were down there on Wednesday, everybody kind of knew it wasn't going to be close. So I just hate that we had to miss it, but can't avoid certain things.
Yeah.
So we got to keep on keeping on the way we do.
Yeah, hey, we just got to, what they say, ride that wave. But Vinton County, they're coming in. They stay at 7-1. Looking at their playoff hopes, they're sitting at.
I know they've already clinched a playoff spot there. Saying
There
it's
we go. Yeah, they're at 7-1. They control their own destiny. I think that they've clinched a playoff spot, just kind of controlling where they go. It's kind of crazy that they're 7-1. They're sitting at 14 in the region there, Tony. I mean, if you're one of these higher level schools like a Logan Elm or a St. Clairsville or Bishop Ready, and you're sitting there at Vinton County 7-1, and that might be your first playoff game, that could be something that you could be scared about.
well, yeah, I mean, especially because Vinton County could be 8-0 just as quickly as when you talk about the Unota team, which is also something when you talk about the gauntlet they've gone through. They went through a gauntlet before the season even started. You know what I mean? And so all that being said, you got some really tough teams, and I wouldn't want to see either one. But the one thing with Vinton County is, I'm a homer, but obviously the Philadelphia Eagles can always find a way to win, whether it just be we got to run a little more, we got to pass a little more, we got to get fancy on special teams, we got to do this. They do everything. They pull tricks out. They do whatever they need to do to win, and even if it's a little bit more to put a little icing on the cake for homecoming. And maybe it's a set a school record for points.
And also, it helps Coach Carper get over that 6-4 record. He's finally got his 7th win, in a season. So congrats to him. I love that for him. Honestly, my favorite coach of all time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely
besides Marcus Games. Don't kill me.
hey, crushing goals out here, though. I mean, that's one thing. Goal setter, goal crusher. There, Tony, getting into the fridge out here. Another game we want to talk about here, Miami Trace. Really taking that loss from Jackson out on Chillicothe this week.
Absolutely.
They went. That's going to kill me forever and always now. Miami Trace, they improved to 5-3. Chillicothe 1-7, win 47-7.
I don't know what was uglier, the actual in total game score there, or just the back and forth I saw between the Barstool Twitters.
Yeah, oh my God, they were going cutthroat. Have you seen that on there?
Dude, it's getting pretty rough out there on these bar stools, dude. It really is.
And people out here in the streets just catching sidebars. Like, damn.
I'm glad we can spread love because I like that it's out there.
I would say Huntington, not Huntington. We were just at the game. Yeah, Huntington. Their Barstool. They might have took an L on the field, but their Barstool took a win there.
Dude, and one thing I've learned is a lot of these players are freshmen and sophomores. It looks like they have kids that are already in high school. That's kind of weird to see on those bar stools out there. But that's what I'm saying, man. These bar stools absolutely ruin. Could you imagine if there was a bar stool when we were in high school? Oh my God, I would be suspended. I think that's actually called expelled.
My team wouldn't even have a team anymore. They'd be like, "Stop! You've already got half your team suspended." They'd be like, "Okay." Just roasters out.
I saw one that said, "Don't worry, like we're your daddy forever and always." I'm like, "Jeez Louise,
Yes.
man!" Like
I saw some explicit.
Yeah.
Is that what the words are?
they should definitely say something like, "Please have parent or guardian present
Yeah.
whenever
I
trying
will
to
say
watch
this: Snapchat having a copy and paste tool is the worst.
Yes, it is. It's terrible. But getting on, Miami Trace. They beat Chillicothe again, 47-7. Looking here at their playoff odds, it looks like they are in. They are clinched, actually. Yeah. So Miami Trace, hey, congratulations. They clinched a playoff berth. They just kind of are waiting to see who they'll play. Sitting there at 9. It'll probably be looks like Buckeye Valley, Marietta, Athens, sitting at 4-4. So that could really help Vinton County there beating a playoff team going forward. So that could really help them out. But, man, going just keeps getting tough here for Chillicothe, man. It's hard to see because they have good kids out there. They have good coaching. I think it's just really been that injury bug has been killing them, Tony.
Yeah, when you can't get consistent, I mean, even position play, like you don't really know where you're going to play. I mean, just looking at a fantasy style of things, it's tough to keep up with.
Like you said, like if your best if your best player at corner goes out, but your best athlete maybe he's playing safety, you got to move him to corner. And now he's playing a position. He's kind of playing out of position. You have somebody coming in that's new to the defense, kind of. So it's just. The injury bug is definitely something that's going to hurt you, even if it's not hurting your best players.
Yeah. Getting on to another, it's a big game in the FAC. Jackson 7-1 beats Hillsborough, who goes to 4-4, 63-21. Jackson, they clinched a couple weeks ago. Shout out Kay Wolford. He goes to Kent State. Just watched them the other day play on Saturdays. I think they're playing Fresno State. I think it was like a week ago is whenever I was watching them. So shout out to him going to play football at another level. Just another Jackson kid coming out there doing Jackson things. Probably going to go to the next level and do some big things there. But Jackson, they're sitting at the 4th seed with Bloom Carroll, London, and Bishop Watterson above them. Looking at the schedule for them, it looks like Jackson will probably stay at that 4 seed. If anything, maybe jump to the 3 seed. But that Bloom Carroll, man, that's a team not too long ago that was in the state Final Four. Actually, Chillicothe's coach's son obviously was the coach there. Chillicothe's coach was his assistant when they go to that the Final Four. So Jackson's going to have a tough road ahead of them in the playoffs for sure.
That London team, I'm pretty sure they played Chillicothe earlier, and that's just something that we were talking about. The woes of Chillicothe.
Yeah.
Playing,
they also put them out last year, 62-0 in the playoffs, and that was your second game of the season this year. So woes. There. McLean is going to actually be Jackson's, I guess you say flavor of the week this week because that's who they'll be playing. They lose to Washington Courthouse last week, 49-25, putting Courthouse at 4-4 and McLean at 5-3. So that will put Washington Courthouse, they're at 10th. Waverly is only one spot ahead of them at 9th. McLean, they're down in 17th, so they're hovering right around being in the playoffs. But it looks like the FAC could have most of their conference going to the playoffs, guys.
It's absolutely a strong conference.
Yes.
Yeah, it just stinks. I really wanted no offense, I'm not picking favorites. Really wanted McLean to get that win.
Favorites, yeah.
I just felt like they were kind of riding a good streak of just really solid play.
Yeah.
And kind of wanted it to pay off for them. The fan base was starting to get behind them a little bit. Not that they're not now, but
McLean's had a rough stretch of football, man. I mean, you know that they've had a lot of seasons of a 1 win, 2 win, no wins. To have Penwell out there and consistently getting 5-6 win seasons, it's something that they can rally behind. 5-3, you want to look at it and be like, hey, that's a good season. We've had a few get away from you that you definitely think you should have. Obviously, that Paint Valley game. They go in there thinking that should be a win. Paint Valley says otherwise. But they sitting at 5-3. They go up against
That's another rivalry, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a renewed one. Battle of 41. Finally got that new, nice, beautiful trophy for it and everything like that.
Bringing that one back home.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, I just think McLean, man, kind of like you said, they kind of been the Python of the FAC, if I do say so myself. I feel like they kind of got off to a good start, not going 3-0 outside of conference play. I think they go like 4-1, I want to say. Going into conference play, had high hopes, just kind of come up short. I think it's Miami Trace as well, right? Yeah, so Miami Trace and Courthouse, like two games that we definitely thought they'd win.
I will say this. I thought that Courthouse, I was sticking with Courthouse because I like the Kaufmans. There's two Kaufmans down there. I'll say they kind of had a reverse effect. I want to say they kind of started off a little rocky, maybe like Zane Trace did, and now they're starting to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Getting it together.
Aiden Rocky Jones out there absolutely putting the burners on people.
He was a kid that kind of like Tony was saying earlier, with the position, like he finally found his position, right? He was kind of a couple different positions before he locked in and started, maximizing his potential out there.
I agree with that. Tony, any thoughts on Courthouse?
I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. But that being said, honestly, not too much on them. I'm pretty sour about it. When you look at the records, you had one team that could really surge to the top, take the momentum.
Take it to the top.
Nothing against Courthouse, but man, I don't know. You buy into teams at the beginning of the year, and you just really want them to succeed, and it was kind of just a dagger that I really didn't want McLean to have.
Speaking of daggers that I got, I really thought Waverly was going to come up and do some big things against Wheelersburg, and then I got reminded again, do not pick against Wheelersburg.
The Andy Long was the only one that was right on that one because we both went with Waverly. I thought it was going to be closer.
Yeah, Wheelersburg gets a big win, 40-7 over Waverly, putting them at 4-3, putting Waverly at 5-3. Wheelersburg had that game canceled the week before, so they get kind of like a little break there. But they are in that Ironton division and region. Lose to Ironton earlier in the year. Wheelersburg sitting at 11 at 4-3. I mean, that has to tell you a lot about the team sitting there 4-3, still at 11. So Wheelersburg could be one of those sleeper teams going into the playoffs. They have to look out for it, guys.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're talking about them, is it really a sleeper?
Town.
Yeah. Is it really a sleeper?
Yeah.
It's like you think that they can put out a good team, or at least somebody that's going to be really annoying to play and have some talent on it.
They're not going to be an easy out for sure.
They're going to make somebody's second round a nightmare.
Yeah, they were going to make somebody lose in the third round because of playing them in the second round. I feel like.
Or they could beat the person in the second round.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, that's very true. It's very true. Especially with the second round now being kind of the old first round. You know what I mean? So kind of doing a little pivot here to SVC volleyball. Monday, Westfall will play at Miami Trace, but then Tuesday, Zane Trace travels to Unioda there. In the big game, can Unioda stay on the winning streak, close out the season, and become our champions this year? Paint Valley will travel to Adena on Tuesday, and Westfall will travel to Southeastern, and Huntington will travel to Piketon. Tony, on that Tuesday slate, how are you looking at those games?
To be honest with you, it's been difficult to keep up. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to talk out of pocket, but it's something you're always excited for.
Yeah. I mean, it's with Unioda, they're sitting at 11-1, 18-2. I feel like it's obviously their league to lose after beating Adena for the second go-around and really taking control of it.
Well, it's difficult to keep up with when you're watching things go back and forth. And a lot of the times when I'm looking at statistics and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. I haven't really seen too many games when I check the stats where I'm just like, oh, that's outlandish.
Yeah.
Or, there's certain times where I'm looking at it. I saw a pretty crazy stat line. I'll look it up here when somebody else is talking. But, there's some people with some great performances, but you look at, like, the Adena players. The two bigs in the front were still doing an amazing job. It just kind of comes back around, and then you're like, oh, this is what's kind of supposed to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you look at, like a Jade Stewart, Madeline Wetzel, I mean, stepping up big every single week. You look over at Southeastern, man, they put it together. It's just, they get the big win against Unioda and against Adena, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's a team that can be dangerous there in the SVC. Their brackets, I think, either came out or coming out soon. So volleyball, it's starting to hit the home stretch. Starting to get the exciting time. Starting to get to the tournament. And so, Adam, between Unioto, Adina, Southeastern, your top three in the league, who do you think kind of, people can look forward to make a run? Obviously, we have Unioto there, but is Adina, Southeastern maybe somebody you're looking into?
Honestly, you always got to look at Adina. I don't know. Again, I just want to kind of touch on what Tony said. Don't want to talk out of pocket.
Yeah.
But I say, honestly, anytime with this SVC volleyball, what you'll have is you'll just have great volleyball top to bottom. Whether it's the best team or the worst team playing, you just kind of have it. It's just kind of you're going to get the best volleyball. I feel like they just got such a good program coming up. I say you talked about it a little bit with the football side of things. Huntington playing Paint Valley last year in the playoffs. A lot of times these volleyball teams end up running into each other in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Do they not?
I mean, Westfall and Adina a couple years ago, or maybe even last year, I can't remember, played each other for either the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. So it's not just like, obviously sectional championships are huge, and obviously so are districts, but it's like, you're playing in the late stages to go to state here. I mean, if
you're playing against the team you've been playing against all year long.
Yeah. If that doesn't show you the elite levelness of the elite of an SVC of volleyball, I don't know what does.
I have to be completely honest.
Oh, geez.
When we switched sports, I wasn't listening what sport we switched to. And then, so when you came to me, I was like, I don't want to speak out of pocket. I was just really excited.
I don't want to speak
I
out
was
of pocket.
completely lying to the people. I have no idea what I was excited about. I didn't know what sport it was. So I felt a little bit better when we came back to it. That's why when I was like, now I can speak.
Volleyball.
SVC volleyball is exciting. Yeah.
I do have a thought on this. Hold on. I do have a thought.
So, but nonetheless, now that I can kind of gather my thoughts and
Yes,
feel a
gather
little
your
bit better
thoughts here.
about, but all that being said, but I will say it just kind of mimics on exactly what I was saying the second time when I realized what sport I was talking to. But a lot of stuff kind of happened the way it's supposed to.
Talking to the sport, you calling her up at night?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the one shout out that I did want to give was Huntington's Emma Hinshaw. In just a 4-set win, she got 18 kills, 16 digs, and 2 assists. And 2 aces. I'm like, that's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Most of the times you look
Jack
at some
of all
of these
trades.
things, you're seeing like a nice 18-3 aces. They don't even kind of say, you know what I mean? You're getting a little bit of a smorgasbord going around there.
Smorgasbord.
So shout. But I really am excited for the upcoming volleyball. And just like Combs said a while back, Adina really can still make the push at the end. If you're looking for that team to do it, they have the people to do it.
Yeah.
You can't, when you have big leadership up front who can just literally hold it down, what that is it actually makes it difficult for the other people to succeed. And when you can do that, it makes everything harder for them. And if they're hitting a little bit off, that's just better for the people trying to get the digs. So when you have that in front, and Adina has that, and so does Unioto, that's why they sit up there at the top. And that kind of is what separates, I think, Unioto and Adina from the Southeasterns and the Westfall and Huntington. Not that they don't have big people up front or, people that can play the net well. But
the thing that I think is very interesting about the volleyball is I feel like it's giving you a preview of basketball with that top. Now, Pay Valley, I think they're a mystery when it comes to girls basketball this year just because they're another year removed from all those seniors leaving, Tristan having her hands on that a little bit more. But Unioto girls team, obviously no secret on them coming in being good. Adina and Unioto girls basketball is pretty much just like Unioto Zane Trace football. I mean, they have some bad blood from last year that they could be looking into. So how does these deep runs in volleyball affect these girls whenever they go into playing basketball? I know whenever I played football, the number one reason that what are you doing? Just slightly going off the screen. I know one thing that I looked forward to in football was just trying to go on a playoff run just so I didn't have to go to the conditioning because I'm pretty sure she was trying to kill me in there. Like I literally would rather go back to boot camp than ever do shoes conditioning again in my entire life.
conditioning.
Yeah, murder. But we're just going to put a different word on it so it becomes legal. It's kind of how I felt.
Tis the season. It's Halloween.
Did you ever have any terrible
I have not murdered
conditioning?
anyone, no.
I don't believe so. Okay, so Tony, You're the murderer here. You just said it out loud. I mean, how do you get away with the perfect murder?
To be honest with you, I think it would probably be a long game. I would think something like get a couple people together, maybe start a podcast, get a show working, build up some trust and different things like that. And then eventually, lead them. Maybe it's like a playoff game after football and be like, guys, we did really well.
Like,
and then
get
we're
'em
like,
a
let's go to
bottle of water
Applebee's.
before
And then
every
all of
game
a
with
sudden,
just a little bit of
just
poison
never
in
to
it.
be seen from again.
Seems a little specific.
But not like you guys. I don't. I
Okay.
mean, like other people. Not they're
Other people.
named.
Other people that
They're named Blay and Saddam and
You guys think I'm sad?
Brandy.
You guys think I'm
You guys both said that already.
I was trying to think of anything that's right with Adam that wasn't Adam, and Saddam was the first one that came up with.
That's-
Atom, like AT.
Now I just sound like Eminem. So Saddam and Adam and the big guy packing down.
M&M's. Which one are you going with? Are you going with the non-nuts or the peanut?
You gotta go peanut.
Gotta
You're
go
a
with
joke
peanut.
gift.
You have that extra crunch.
I'm going so peanut. I'm going Reese's Pieces.
You know what my favorite M&M's are? Reese's Pieces. those are my favorite M&M's.
100%.
I'll never forget my buddy. Like, they go, "What flavor Kool-Aid you want?" And he goes, "Red." And I was just sitting there, I was like, "Dude, that's not a flavor. There's like 6 reds, dude." Like, I love it.
What flavor Kool-Aid do you want? Red?
Red.
Like cherry red? Or
I mean, he might not be wrong.
you think red's a flavor?
Red is when it comes to Kool-Aid. It's
No, there's like other ones. There's like
Yeah,
a
there's
tropic
definitely-
one that's
yeah,
red.
The
then
blue
there's cherry.
packet. The blue packet Kool-Aid is elite. The cherry is definitely delicious, but the blue packet Kool-Aid one is both red, both delicious.
Wait, you guys don't mix your Kool-Aids?
no mixing Kool-Aids is
I was about to
awesome,
say
man.
that's elite when you take
me-
2 packets and mix it
I'm not
together.
a huge cherry Kool-Aid guy, so that's why there's only one red to me, and it's the tropical.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But you mix that with a little bit of grape.
Now, what's the best meal with Kool-Aid? Because everyone just drank Kool-Aid as Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's not really something I'm sitting down and eating with the meal. you
Yeah,
know,
just
drinking
like
with
I
the
want to
meal,
drink
yeah.
it to chug it, and then yeah. Are you eating anything with Kool-Aid?
Nah, maybe some good snacks like a salty chip.
For me, the best time to
like
drink
a
Kool-Aid,
salty chip?
Like a little salty
best-
hit on a.
the best time to drink Kool-Aid is when you used to get them playing like a sport, and you're at the fridge, you're just drinking it straight out the jug, and it's
But
like
you
dripping
got to
on
be
your
staring
shirt.
at the person that you
Yeah.
just mossed out
Yeah.
on the
And it's just,
playground.
like, it's just all over your shirt, and it's just all over the floor. It's like you just made a mess.
How's it going?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Napoleon Dynamite style.
And you hit him with the.
Hey, I'll tell you one Kool-Aid that I've been sipping is this Paint Valley Kool-Aid. Being undefeated
Delicious.
in the league, 1 loss on the season. A big part from 2 guys that I can tell you work hard, catch everything, and get all the ladies. The one and only Bryson Dunham and Carson Free. Guys, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Heck yeah! Hey, coming in with the new stylish. Hey, how do you guys like this gray jerseys? It looks like you're loving them enough to wear them on here.
Oh, yeah, they're sweet.
Heck yeah! All right. Hey, so I want to ask you guys. You come up with a big win against Maple Leaf. Bryson, you officially finish your career not losing to the Maple Leaf 5 times and counting that playoff win last year. What does it mean to you guys to bring the Maple Leaf not just back to Paint Valley, but keep it at Paint Valley?
I mean, I think it's one of those things where you go to Paint Valley, you know about it, and it's just the win, especially against Huntington.
Heck
So
yeah!
I think every year, we circle that on the calendar, but, our guys, we come in and work hard every day. So
Heck
we
yeah,
kinda
man.
Now,
knew
do they
that
feel
we
bad for
had
the
to be ready
fact
for it.
that they don't ever give any maple syrup or any of this maple back to the Huntington community? They might have pancakes and waffles too.
No, dude, you got to come buy it over from us.
Paint
That's-
Valley is just greedy, but I love it.
Hey, we know. I want to talk about, I guess, everybody's kind of, focusing on Braylon. You guys come out that first drive, though. Carson, you have a big catch. Bryson, you have a big catch. Can you guys both kind of speak on being that a reliable receiver for Preston whenever it's time to sling the rock?
Yeah, it just shows that the hard work we put in and that we got that good connection, and that of course the offensive line is a big reason why for us our offense to have success that and to run the ball and pass the ball like we've had. So I mean, it's hard for us to be stopped.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, this off season we were getting in with Preston a good bit. He's a young guy, and we were kind of about how we need to keep him up because, in the year he get rattled a little bit, but he's really, calmed down. And he's able to get us the ball when he needs to. And obviously having Braylon's huge. I mean, heck, when you have a guy that can run for 400 yards and 7 touchdowns in a game, that helps. But,
right.
yeah, I mean, we're just there when we're needed.
Now,
That
Bryson,
is not an exaggeration.
yeah. We ran for 7 touchdowns games. Yeah, I mean, no, literally, the guy ran for 7 touchdowns, 700 yards. But Bryson, I know you. Obviously, I got to have the privilege of coaching you guys. You're definitely a vocal leader. I got to know: has there been times where you're the senior and you've had to get in like maybe Preston, Carson, Braylon's ear, and be like, "Hey, this is my senior year. What are we doing? Let's step it up." Or how's it been being the senior leader this year?
Yeah, definitely have had to hit that one a couple times. I'll be honest, in the beginning of the year, we had some, some character issues between us guys. But I know one practice we were running before a game. It was on Thursday, and Preston didn't tell both of us what we were doing, but we checked to a different play because he just seen it was open, but didn't let both of us know. And I still ran the same route, and me and Carson ran into each other, and I got up, and I was like, Preston, you can't be doing that. Preston had to kind of tell me to calm down a little bit.
I'm telling you, this is the kind of guy where I'd have him as my point guard, and I'd have him press full court the whole game, right? And, the team would call a timeout. I'm like, hey, I'm going to have you, take a break and not press. He goes, no, coach, I'm pressing full court, and that's not changing. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to be pressing full court. That's not changing. And I want to speak on that, Carson. I know you like to, you're nice, calm, cool, collected here. I've seen you play football. I've seen you play basketball. Bryson, with you too. You guys like to talk a little trash. I like to see what's it like whenever you guys are out there on the outsides, that 1v1 matchup. You make that big catch, you're getting a stop. What's it like between you and that other receiver? What's some trash talk that we're getting out of both of you guys?
I don't really like to talk trash unless they talk to me first.
Okay.
I mean, if they say something first, I'll say something. But usually I don't like to talk trash.
He's like, you just look at my numbers.
He's like, you can actually show disrespect in another way, and it's by literally not letting them tackle you. It's like it takes 6 of you guys. Is that enough disrespect?
That's my trash talk right there. You see these 6 guys right here? That's my trash.
It really was at the beginning of last game. It just really seemed like it was just easy 8, if not more.
You guys are talking about the offensive side. He talks trash on the defensive side by lowering the pads.
Yeah, I mean, sending people back into the 8th grade. I mean, it's terrible. Bryson, I know you. I mean, you're a firecracker. We saw you have a couple big catches coming up. I know you weren't just popping up and saying, yeah, you're a nice person. You know what I mean? So what's it like for you whenever you're getting fired up out there on the field?
I think a big thing for me, obviously, everybody comes at me for not being the biggest guy on the field, but when they come in and lay a good hit on me, I kind of get up and like, all right, I see you.
Yeah.
Let's see something a little better. I like to get it. I like to get after it a little bit, but I think after that one run, I just got up and yelled because obviously everybody loves, everybody knows Carson, and when I get my touches, I just try to make the best of it. And, with a big play like that, I know I'm just helping my team get down the field. So
he said everybody knows Carson, but everybody's going to know me by the time this season's over. I love it, man.
That's one thing that I said during the game was that anytime I see you touching the ball, you're maximizing all your touches, and I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's being a sleeper in fantasy this year for sure there for T-Bag's team. I wanted to ask you guys, so you got the gold ball hoop still alive, right? You get your Maple Leaf trophy, secure the bag with that one. Big game coming up here this Friday against Yoda. How are we taking the approach to this Friday night, guys?
Oh, gosh. I think it's one of those things where, we've got great coaches, and they put together a great game plan. We've kind of went over that today, but I think at the end of the day, it's not always just about game plan. You got to go out and execute. On Friday nights, some things might not go your way, but it's one of those things where you got to just stay focused and come together as a group and, just keep going at it.
Oh, yeah. What about you, Carson?
I feel the same exact way. We just got to have really good practices, and like we've been having, we've had good practices ever since we lost to West Jeff, and we've went on a 6-game winning streak. And we just know that if we had a good practice, we have a good chance of winning the game. And we just have that mentality of nobody's going to stop us.
I love that so much, man, especially obviously being a PV guy myself. I know you guys obviously being wide receivers, there's going to be a lot of talk about the trenches and the run game for for you two guys. Obviously, Braylon being leading rusher, you and Yoda kind of having a new running back every single week, kind of stepping up. But one thing that we've been kind of talking about, obviously, Carson, you and Caden Cotright, but obviously you and Bryson with probably Ashton Crace kind of around you. Is that something in the wide receiver room that you guys have been talking about? Like, hey, you know, obviously this is a team sport and everything like that, but we really have a chance to separate ourselves as the wide receiver DB group of the SVC in this game. Is that something you guys are talking about?
I think, every week we watch film and we know who their guys are on defense, but I don't think we take it to a level where we're like, he's guarding him and this guy's guarding that guy. I think we just, we know what plays we run, and me and Carson go out and run our routes as hard as we can, and if we're open, we're open.
Okay.
And, we obviously respect the guy across from us no matter who it is.
All righty. No.
Not letting the big names affect their play style. They're going to run their offense or defense the way they're going to run it no matter what.
Even kill it. I absolutely love it. What's it kind of been like for you guys having, Preston as your guys' new quarterback, Braylon absolutely coming off this year. What's that kind of been like with for you guys as wide receivers?
It's been great. We really haven't had to do a whole bunch. Braylon's getting the ball a lot. He's running for a lot of yards, doing a lot for us. The offensive line's doing a ton for us. It's great. Preston, run the ball like crazy, throwing the ball, getting the ball to us whenever we need it. Just
Heck yeah.
coming up big for us.
All right. Hey, guys, so, Ride the Wave Show, we're going to ask super important questions here that mean probably more than football itself. Bryson, I saw you have, your little chef get up there a few months ago, I think, with the grill out. What do you like to put on the grill, Chef Bryson?
I love to smoke meat. I have a smoker at the house, and I think my favorite to cook might be chicken legs.
Okay.
I used to cook chicken wings all the time, but they were so small, so I was like, I'm going with some chicken wings, but definitely probably chicken wings with some Meat Church Holy Voodoo seasoning. Great.
All right. Hey, Carson, have you tried any of this? Is it good? We got to have an opinion here that's not just Bryson's. Is this good food?
No, I ain't tried any of it.
He'll get some. He'll get some soon.
Oh, okay. Hey, hey, Carson, hold him to that because let us know, man. I'm curious. Carson, I don't know if you're a cook. If you are, let us know what you like to cook. What's a meal though that pregame you're like, I gotta eat this. This is my best pregame meal. What is that for you?
I really don't have one.
Really?
We always have the cookout after school, pretty much.
Okay.
Home games. I usually just eat whatever is there. I don't really have anything.
He said all I eat is dubs, dude. That's
What
all
about
that
that
matters.
pregame tracks? You guys got any music you're into right now?
Oh gosh, I'll say one of the big ones that we play almost every game, and it's gonna catch some people off. Is every game we play Holla Back Girls at least once.
Ain't no
I love
holla
it.
back girl.
I love it. Everybody needs a
Ain't
song like
no
that in
holla
their
back
hype
girl.
up mix.
That is
Everybody does.
amazing. Jeez Louise.
They are, in fact, not Hollerback Girls. These are fine gentlemen. They are not just pieces of meat, okay? They have feelings too, you know.
They just cook pieces of meat. That's all that they do
Jeez.
over there. That.
So a question I had is, you guys played for the Battle of 41 trophy and then the Maple Leaf. Which one is your guys' favorite?
I think the Battle 41. My whole family's from Greenfield, so the game was kind of personal.
Love
A
it.
lot of us.
My whole family's from
every year.
Greenfield, but only one of us got that trophy. Hey! That's awesome. What about you, Bryson?
Honestly, I'm gonna, obviously the Battle of 41 was fun. McLean gave us a great game, but I think for me it's got to be definitely the Maple Leaf, just because, Elijah McCloskey, my cousin, he went there. My other half of my mom's family went there, but when you go up on Friday night and your cousin Elijah, standing on the sidelines and he's played in that game before, it just means a little bit more.
Hell yeah. Hey,
I love that because it's you guys both picked the trophy that you picked because of family, and it was
Yeah.
a different trophy. Love
It's
it.
like I just like to tell my family I'm better than them. It's one thing I love. Hey, so pregame routine. My pregame routine was crazy. You guys got to see it as a coach, just absolutely screaming and being wild. Who has the craziest pregame routine on the team?
Oh God. Honestly, probably me. Honestly, just to the fact that
Not
it'll be
surprised.
like 3:45 and I'm already getting dressed.
Walking into last period, full helmet, short pants. Yeah, the answer C. Are we ready to play some football? Like, geez, Louise. That's awesome,
Well, I don't
man.
think anybody does anything like stupid. I mean, we all kind of act dumb in the locker room and stuff, obviously. But yeah, I mean, everybody else is still coming up from the tailgate, and I've got my pants and everything on, and I'm trying to go get taped. And Bree's like, "Not right now, Bryson. We still got like another half hour before I can do that."
What about Braylon? What's he like pregame? I feel like he's a scary human to be around whenever he's probably getting intense. I've seen him on the basketball court where you don't really have to be as intense, and I'm scared. I can't imagine what it's like before a football game.
What's he do? Just sit there?
I don't know, but he just sits there. But he always has to have one song play, and that's Super Gremlin. And
which one is it?
Play. Super Gremlin.
Dude, it's those quiet ones, man, that you really got to
song.
watch out for. That will run through your face over and over and over again. Guys, it's been awesome having you on. I got to ask, I had you both as players. You thought I wasn't listening. I was, so I'm going to ask you. You both pride yourself with the ladies. Who do you think's the better ladies, man? You, Bryson, or you, Carson?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I like to think myself, but I don't know. He's got a girlfriend right now. So I don't know.
Okay. Hey, Bryson's like, I'm going to say myself because I don't have a girlfriend because I'm smart.
Boys, honesty is the best policy. Okay?
Honesty's the best policy. Well, hey, Bryson, I'm going to tell you, whenever you're cooking those wings, I'm going to have to put an order in, man. I'm definitely going to have to see what you got cooking over in the kitchen.
I got you.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the two wide receivers out from Paint Valley having a huge game this coming up Friday against Union Yoda, the one and only Bryson Dunham and Carson Free. Thank you so much, guys.
Another dynamic duo. Another
Yes.
two Batmans.
Yes.
Two more Batmans.
It's insane, man. Like, whenever you're beating somebody so bad in the run game, and then they think, like, hey, we'll just stack the box, put 8, 9 in the box. Well, sorry about it. We have two amazing wide receivers that are just going to burn you. I mean, Carson can go up and get it. Bryson could get it and then make a man miss and really just kind of go to the house. It's been fun as an alumni to watch this Paint Valley team this year, guys.
Bryson really does. Like, I'm smaller guy. When you come out, and even if a running back, I go up to make a tackle, and they just laid me out, and you're smaller, and it's like, maybe you still get the tackle, maybe you still get the catch and stuff, but you got to get up, and you just got to be like, I see you. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop it. When you're an undersized player, you got to acknowledge, this is going to happen to me. This is football. I'm not a big boy.
The crazy thing is, though, he would take that and put it into basketball. I'm like, Bryson, you can't. He's like, how's that a foul? I'm like, you can't just, like, hit people in the chest. He's like
out there like Della Vadova.
Yeah.
I'm hitting his chest with my chest.
Yeah,
now.
and I'm like, that's still a foul. This is not football. Like, it's the same. But, man, getting to coach him, I can tell you, like, he was such a hard worker, dude. Like, honestly, what we kind of said it on the broadcast. What he lacks in height, he makes up for in heart, man. I know that's a cliche, but honestly, that's the truth. I mean, again,
so often cliches are true for that reason because people were, proving them right.
Another cliche is, Adam, when you have the ball and you're winning by 3 with less than 40 seconds to go,
And
all you got to do is take a knee. You take the knee. MVD, I'll have him pull up what some players thought of this. I sent it to you in those messages. Miami, guys, up by 3 with 40 seconds to go. All you have to do is take a knee. All you got to do is take a knee. And then instead you run the ball, get the ball stripped for a fumble, and then 2 plays later, it was that first one there, MV. Yep. For 2 plays later, you give the ball up and get a touchdown. This is what their offensive lineman thought about it. He definitely thought that it was the right play to be. Don't have the video, but as you can read the lips there, what the fudge is going on? Like, what the fudge are we doing here? I mean, Tony, what the hell, man?
So, down in Miami or Miami, that's Miami in Spanish is Miami. If you didn't know that, that's what it is. But all that being said, I know a little bit more Spanish. That is muy es un stupido. Am I correct, boys?
Yes. I mean,
muy caliente, take that.
Jesus, that was like real Spanish.
Hey.
That just means very spicy take.
Did we not tell you guys that we're live from Mexico City today?
Right?
Muy caliente.
But, Adam, we watched that game live. I mean, my jaw literally hit the floor. I mean, it was insane.
I was fading in and out there because it was one of the later games, and maybe I had some beverages that made me a little drowsy. Maybe. who's to blame.
Yeah, that NyQuil.
And
will really
I
get you
heard,
tired.
oh, they're about to score here. And I wake up and I see him rolling out to his right, hit a man wide open for the touchdown, and just
Dude, as soon as Miami fumbled the ball, I was like, yep,
And
they
then
lost.
they said something like, "Oi, coño."
and then we kind of had the discussion.
What's
there,
that
Clay,
mean?
That
Is that bad?
I don't think it was
might
a
be
fumble.
bad.
You know, it
So that was the crazy thing. I don't think it was a fumble either, but after review, it wasn't indisputable evidence. I think MVD actually has the video here. So Miami, which I hate Miami. I'm a Notre Dame fan.
I love the Miami Knights uniform.
I was about to say, but those jerseys are dope. Yeah, so look here.
Oh wait, no, those are the green, the teal green.
All
numbers. Those are
Miami
not
has
the
to do
Miami
here,
Knights.
they're up 3. You just got to take a knee. The clock will run out, and you'll win the game. But they hand the ball off, and then right here, fumble it. Worst case scenario that could happen right here. They fumble the ball. Georgia Tech recovers it. There's 30 seconds left. Georgia Tech has 0 timeouts. So they throw this ball here. Guy has to catch it, get out of bounds. He catches it, doesn't get out of bounds. So the clock will stop until they can get up there. They clock it. They get the ball back. Rolls here. Clock expiring. No, beats no one back. An easy touchdown. Easy touchdown. One of the biggest meltdowns I've ever seen in my entire life, guys.
Got
Entire life.
a little scary there with Georgia Tech player sliding down almost. It's like one of those drop the ball right before the end zone moments.
Yeah,
You know, it gets
yeah,
a
they
little scary.
reviewed that too, and I was kind of like, why would you even slide? Just run right in,
Run
dude. Like,
right
come
in.
on.
Dive in, do a flip. Do
You
something
know,
cool.
but we had to watch that after Notre Dame ripped my heart out again. I kind of said it earlier. Yeah. We don't need to show that.
Louisville, L's up.
But-
Notre Dame's trash.
Dude, we played
Tell 'em,
4.
Tony.
We have
L's up.
USC coming over.
What
We
were
have
we talking
4th
about?
ranked opponent in a row, prime time. You bring Sam Hartman here to win those games. I love him to death, but
I heard the
he
hurt
has
in your
to do
voice
better.
when you were saying that.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Ohio State.
Looks like he's ripping out my damn heart, man. Eat
No.
that, man. You fucking-
Mark, damn it.
That's what you have to do when your team loses.
Ohio
You get
State
bad puns.
gets battle tested against a good Maryland team. They come out on top again. MVD, the Colorado kicker, if you can pull him up. Colorado comes up with a huge win against Arizona State, I do believe so.
Yeah, it was Arizona State.
Yeah,
They
it's
played the
Arizona
Sun
State
Devils.
with the kicker coming up. I don't know if we can have the audio here. Yeah, MVD, that's the one. So this is the kicker right here. Yeah, so you can't hear the audio, but in this interview, he just did the game-winning field goal, and he's asked, what did you feel about Arizona State calling a timeout to ice you? And his response was, I got ice in my veins. You can't ice something that's already cold.
You heard me?
What? Oh! Ice in his veins, dude. Jeez Louise.
He
I
went
mean,
to church on Sunday, and you made him a sinner on Saturday. Do you see what you, did?
You
The
know,
man
Deion
came
told him
out.
that line right before he went out there. He goes,
it's
"They
like,
can't
hey,
ice
listen,
you,
they're going to come
baby."
and talk to you. This is how you're going to respond.
He's like, they can't ice you. They can't ice you. You got ice in them veins. You can't ice what's already iced.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, Bryson Dunham would be good for that team just solely because of his swag. Just solely because of the swag, dude. Like, I mean, he'd be out here being like, yeah, coach, ice in the veins, you know. But, hey, guys, another thing that we want to announce is that Applebee's officially has Dollaritas back.
They're back, baby.
Dollaritas are officially back at Applebee's. And, you know, sometimes you have $1 Dollarita. Sometimes you have $2 Dollarita. Sometimes you have $3 or $4 Dollarita. But those Dollaritas can really get you feeling a little feisty, if you do say so myself.
$5
So this is not the Applebee's Dollaritas, not the Applebee's Dollaritas. This is the Applebee's Dollaritas. This is not the Chillicothe Applebee's, but this is what happens when establishments like to give away margaritas for $1. So as you can see here, we're gonna break this down. Look at that.
So for all of our
Yeah.
boxing fans out here, this is very similar to what Canelo Alvarez just did to Jamal Charlo.
Yes,
by
it's
the
like
way,
no.
as well.
I want to tell you. No, I want to. Hey, this all started over the half price apps. You telling me that the half price apps don't start for another hour? Yes, ma'am. I'm telling you, starting for
It could have been
another
one of
hour.
those concepts. Hey, I got in here at 6:55.
Yeah.
Half prices ended at 7. Server didn't get it in time. you've
It's
got
not my
yourself a
fault.
full price
Yeah,
appetizer
exactly.
at that
Hey,
point.
Tony.
Or they run out of those cheese bites, the
Yes.
mac and cheese bites.
Listen,
I throw
being
hands over
Applebee's alumni, Tony, we've had to deal with this before. Now, I've never had to break up a fight, but I've definitely wanted to start one before. That's for sure.
I will tell you
Applebee's
this.
alumni.
I did break up a fight in Applebee's. I've actually broke up 2 fights. One of them, the other one was in the parking lot.
Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
because of Dollaritas?
And if we get technical, nothing against my hometown Applebee's here, definitely broke up fights in the back of the restaurant. I think you may have too at one point or another.
Dude.
Those don't count though. But we're talking about outside customers. But yes, one time.
I do currently work at Applebee's. I love it more than a whole lot of other stuff. But I do love working there. But I do have one of the best quitting stories of all time, and it was at Applebee's. I'm pretty sure you were there when I walked around the corner.
I caught your
threw my
apron.
apron and said, "I quit." And I just walked the hell out past the manager.
I believe Clay said, if I don't get this and this because of this and this, I'm leaving. And they said,
"Well, you might as well leave."
throws the apron up in the air, and I'm like turning the corner like, it's going to be a beautiful Friday night.
No, it's not.
Oh, Clay's
My
apron.
hopes and dreams.
It said Archer on the back, number 33.
R.I.P.
It's hanging up in the rafters. You go check it out.
Now, one thing, you have to have the non-slips there. Another thing that you should be able to wear are these Croc cowboy boots, dude. Do you want style, but you also want efficiency? I think we finally figured it out with these Croc cowboy boots.
It's
I
like
didn't
a
know what this was
summer
about.
4-wheel drive for your feet.
A summer
Okay, I saw
four-wheel-
these. These were actually sent to me by Vera Wang. Vera Wang, I think her name was. She sent me this before
She
they
makes beautiful
dropped.
wedding dresses.
So
Clay.
I kind of
Vera
came up with this
Wang?
concept
Beautiful
a little
wedding
bit.
dresses.
She stole it from me and then gave it to Louis Vuitton, and Louis Vuitton gave it to Croc. But all that being said, fire, absolute fire here. You can see that you can actually stick these in a 4-wheel drive, and then also speed something up. You put those spurs in the side of
Speed?
anything.
I am speed.
Is that
could
a
be
spur
you.
on the back of that?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
love
That's how
that.
you speed
I want
things
20
up.
pairs.
Yes.
Giddy up.
Hey, so I think this
Giddy
might
up.
be a part of the Applebee's uniform.
Giddy up.
Giddy up and crack it up. I'm so officially, Croc cowboy boots are the new brand, guys.
Fire.
Alrighty. So if you haven't got a pair yet, make sure you go get a pair. I'm going to order about 50 for myself. Now, another thing that we saw, the Steelers coach, he had a great time winning football games. This is him. You dial up a touchdown, you're going to probably lose your shit, right? Not here. He didn't lose any shit. He said, you know what? Don't care.
He said, actually, I'm going to keep my crap. I'm not even happy that we won.
I have pants on, guys. What if I
So
have shit in my pants?
what I hear about this is that this guy called a play, and Kenny Pickett audibled out of it and threw a game winner, and he may or may not, this is kind of hearsay, I guess, was upset that Kenny Pickett dare audible out of his perfect play.
Well, his name is Matt Canada. His last name is Canada. Canadians are really nice people. Maybe he just felt it was disrespectful.
No, because the first thing that comes to mind, forest fires.
That's true.
Okay? I don't like it.
It's true.
Tim Hortons.
Some shady stuff.
Maple
going
leaf
up
on the
there.
side of the cup. Forest fires. Tim
Wait,
Hortons.
wait. Is
Chillicothe.
Payne Valley,
Do you see
Huntington-
what I'm saying here?
Is Payne Valley and Huntington playing for Tim Hortons every
Put
single
it
year?
together.
We're playing for Tim Hortons. I want my shares of Tim Hortons from the MVD. Me and you own shares of Tim Hortons now because of the Maple Leafs, so that's awesome. Adam, thoughts on Matt Canada? Not really giving a shit that his team's good.
The last name of Canada, I just don't know. I just don't know if I like the
Can't
cut
be
of your
trusted.
jib. You know what I mean?
The color of your gym?
Cut of your jib.
Oh.
Oh, dude, I do love that phrase.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
the
it's
color
a
of
good
your
one.
gym. I said, I don't know that.
I don't like the cut of his jib.
I don't
Last
trust
name
him as far as
Canada?
I can throw him, and I can't throw a country.
Yeah.
Country.
What's this guy covered in maple syrup head to toe?
Cowboy boots in a down country. All right. So, yeah,
Dude, I love Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw's a good guy.
I'm not gonna lie, I love Tim Hortons. The little donut holes they got when you guys started crapping on them. I was like, you know what? The little Timbits. I like them little Timbits.
Little
They're
Timbits
pretty
are
sweet,
good.
pretty
They're just, Nazis. So it's not a big deal.
What?
Alrighty. So going on to the draft, we are going to keep it in the spooky season. We are drafting our favorite scary movies.
I got a draft board of about 30 right now. I love it. This is what I was most prepared for. I got a whole 15 of them in the notes. So that way
I
can
didn't
make sure.
Okay,
prepare
now-
at all.
Before we start this draft, if you draft the franchise, do you get all those movies, but you get at least pick your favorite to be put on the list? That way, like, you can't pick Halloween, and then I
Derek
pick
and Andy
Halloween.
get to decide. Because I don't know. It's going to be too hard and technical to do it now because I have to think that out. I feel like there's going to be some that maybe you say, like, man, those are two different movies, even though it's the same villain and stuff.
Well, like
you
he
know
says,
what I mean?
Halloween specifically. Halloween was originally, like, you got 1 and 2, and then you got the third one. So the third one's what it was originally supposed to be because it was supposed to just be, like, different masks. The masks made you bad. So the first one just happened to be on Michael Myers, and he grew up and killed people.
We'll just do it as we go. How's that
Yeah.
sound? Okay.
We'll just ride that
Computers.
wave.
So,
I like just taking the whole franchise, but that's...
I like the franchise. Okay, so I have the first pick. We'll decide on the first pick, okay? Because we're drafting our favorite scary movies, right? How could it get any scarier than the scary movies themselves?
Yes, I really
That's who I pick with my first pick. A scary movie, 1 through 5.
47.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
The comedy?
do I? Yeah. So do I get all of them? Do I
Yeah.
get? Okay.
I would just say scary movie.
Okay. Awesome. So my first pick are the scary movies.
My first
You know
pick
what I
are
like
scary
food, and if
movies.
somebody's jamming some hand into my mashed potatoes before I'm eating them, that's scary to me. But
Dr. Phil and Shaq come together as one. And how can you use a scary movie draft with scary movies drafted? That's all I gotta say. So Tony, you are up. We are going 5 rounds here, guys. By the way, so Tony, who's your first pick?
I'm doing My Dog Skip. Okay, so this I'm thinking what's scary to me. There was 2 villains.
Yeah.
Is that not one of the worst moments of
Yes.
your life when you watch My Dog Skip and they hit Skip with the sledgehammer?
Yes.
And there was those
And
villains in the cemetery and stuff. So it's not a scary movie, but
There's definitely
I don't know.
some scary
Crap.
scenes in it.
Does that count?
That's heartbreaking, first of all.
Yeah,
Which
but I
is-
was so scared when I was little.
No,
like
I
those
mean, yeah,
people.
as a little kid, yeah, as a
hey,
little
man,
kid.
You know what?
like-
I've watched My Dog Skip millions of times. My mom can attest. I will say towards the end of that, you shut that movie off halfway because
got
it gets
Frankie
scary
Muniz
and dark
in it,
there.
that
at the end.
timing in
Yeah.
my life, like age
I was like
I
7.
was scared.
Yeah, I was like, I
Yeah.
can't handle this
It
shit.
makes you go sleep with your pet that night.
Yeah,
That much.
it's like,
Derek,
hey,
Andy,
Tony,
can we
I
count
love
that?
you. Hey, Ralph, since I'm not going to get called out this time.
We got what? We'll do it. That counts.
Okay, yeah, so My Dog Skip counts.
I'll allow it.
Adam, you're up.
All right, I'm going with
My Dog-
Friday the 13th series,
Okay.
and it's a twofer, right?
Yes.
All right, with my second one, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Good. Right, man.
Those were my 1 and 2 off of my draft board.
On Elm. Hell yeah, so you get your 1s and 2s. Okay. Why do you go with those 2?
Well, I mean,
Sentimental to you? Or?
Kind of. So I used to do shout out Goose, a.k.a. Brandon Grigsby. And
Goose!
Da Bean, Isla, his daughter. But yeah, no, so Goose and I used to do like a movie franchise. Or not movie franchise. We used to watch like scary movies, and that was just like one of the first franchises that I was like, let's watch all of them start to finish. And I mean, they kind of fall off there at the end because you have like Jason Goes to Manhattan and stuff. But
Right.
also, this includes the Freddy versus Jason since I got both of them back to back.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they're iconic. Johnny Depp got his start in one of them. Kevin Bacon's got his start in the other. So just classics.
Alrighty. Tony.
So I'm going to go with a new one because I know I usually go off and I know My Dog Skip was weird, but I'm going to really follow the lines. And this scared the crap out of me. It's kind of new. Is that Haunting of Hill House from Netflix? Oh,
we got
dude,
an
I'm
article,
getting
from the MVD
the
and
boys,
NBA.
boys. Dude, is that not fire? Like, if you haven't seen it, it is legitimately mind-melting, like, messes with you, kind of has you creeped out when you walk around your house afterwards, like, which I kind of already run around like something's going to grab me anyways.
Who was
but
Ewan? Was it Andy or was it Derek? I can't see from over
both of them.
Oh, okay. I was just
Yeah,
making sure.
very excited. But great freaking program, dude.
Okay.
Like,
Alrighty, so you got My Dog Skip and Haunting from Hill House? Is that
it's like
correct?
Haunting
Of
of
Hill
Hill
The
House.
Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Haunting of. All right, and you have Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, Adam. I have scary movies, and then I have 2 picks here. Going to go with the first one that pops in my head every single time that somebody says scary movie. I think it was probably honestly the first real scary movie I sat down and could get through. I'm going with Prom Night.
Prom Night?
Yeah.
Lil Wayne had a song on that, right? And he titled it Prom Night. It was like
Yeah.
for the soundtrack.
Yeah, it was like and then it's basically about the girl that like has a stalker, and then he breaks out on her prom night,
Yeah.
and like it's like her and all of her friends. I
And
just remember,
everybody's like, nah, he's not going to do it. He
Yeah.
ain't going to do it. And he does it.
yeah, a lot.
A lot. He kills all of
It's
us.
pretty
All
bad.
of us, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with that one just because like I can literally remember.
Nice pick.
Yeah, I can remember like time and place where I watched it like 3 times in one night. One time. Now was the girl pretty, and did she want to watch it? And was I terrified the entire time? Yes, but I got through it for the girl.
Main lead's pretty too, so it's
Yeah,
not,
there you go. The second one I'm gonna go with, it might be a little underrated. I think it's the right. It's called Hereditary.
Yes, that is a very
Okay.
it's a very solid flick. You see, it's for me, it wasn't so much scary as it's more of a suspense, but it still falls under the scary. I watched it in my 30 days of Halloween I do with
Yes.
Goose, where we watch all these movies. That was one of them.
So the biggest reason that is on my list is whenever the girl's head gets ripped off in the car.
You have that's a very big fear you should have.
Yeah, and I was terrified. I was like, ah!
You know why?
Sorry,
her head
Derek. Ah!
You know why her head gets ripped off?
Because she leans out.
Well, she's allergic to cinnamon, and she.
Yeah.
Who else? Is
Oh
Who
my
else is
God.
allergic to cinnamon?
Red alert! Red alert!
Yeah.
Red alert!
So if she ever has cinnamon driving to the hospital,
AKA
make
my
sure
wife
she
is
keeps-
allergic to cinnamon.
Make sure.
Yeah, and then what about at the end when all those people just show
the
up?
satanic cult.
Yeah,
stuff?
it's just like, yo!
Spoilers.
What? Yeah, spoiler! Oh, I probably should say the spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers coming. So rewind. Spoilers are approaching here. With
Hey,
these
this movie
movies.
came out in like 2017. If we're ruining it
Yeah.
now for you, you just don't watch a lot of. scary
Alrighty,
movies.
so yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with my second one. So I got Scary Movies, Prom Night, and Hereditary. Tony, you have My Dog Skip. Honestly, slept on pick there. Haunting of the Hill House, and what is your third one?
I think. Oh, I like that pick, but I have to go. I was going which ones really scarred me for a while. Did anybody say the Saw ones yet?
No, but you took one of mine.
So the reason why is like the first one, and I don't care if it's spoiled if you don't know it yet. You're
Yeah.
probably not gonna back and watch it. When that dude got up off the middle of the floor after all the stuff happened,
After all
around
of
him,
it, after
the
all
whole
of it.
damn movie happened around you, and you're just gonna lay there like, and then just gets up like, yeah, I'm cool, dude, and you guys are screwed. It sucks.
Dude, the biggest thing for Saw for me was whenever it was like in its heyday, I think it was my brother and his friends got it, and my mom made me go to bed, and I was walking down the stairs, and I looked down, and all I saw was like the scene where I think where somebody's like getting their head chopped off. I can't remember exactly, and I was just like, oh my God! And I just like ran up there, and ever since then, just terribly afraid of Saw.
Yeah.
So, that's a.
My favorite is, like, I can't remember what one it is. Like one of the Saw. I think it's Saw 3. A guy's just on a car getting pulled
Yeah.
apart by a car or something.
Yeah.
Just
Do you want to play a game? No, I don't.
No,
Actually,
never in my life.
I'm
cool.
bad at games.
I'm cool.
Alrighty, so Adam, you have Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. You have 2 back to Elm Street. What are your next 2 picks?
Now I get 2 here, and I'll have a third one total, right?
Yeah, you
The
have
3
2
left.
here, and then it'll come back to you for your last pick.
So I'm gonna have to go with one of my absolute favorites because I just love the Ed and Lorraine story, and I love Patrick. I think it's Patrick Wilson is the main lead. Aquaman's brother. It's gonna be the Conjuring series.
Okay.
I just absolutely love those movies. Now that kind of it does. I'm not gonna consider those taking up like the Annabelle series.
Yeah.
Just because even though it's all in the same universe, it's still its own series. But that's gonna be my first one. Second one. Now I'm torn between 2 that really messed me up as a kid. It's, when Tony, you said that, I was like, you know what? That could be a way that I go here. I'm gonna have to go with Scream, and it was always,
Man, I hate you guys.
You know what's crazy is that was my next pick because I have
Mine too.
very few
You guys
fears
both
in this
took my
world.
next
it's
2
the
picks.
most real thing that can happen in a scary
My
movie.
thing is that the at a window, you look over, it's at the window, you look away, look back, not at the window. It's like one of my biggest fears. That
Yes.
Scream mask, and they did it just so well. So even when I was younger, like whether my dad be trying to get me, and it's just like that fear of being like, did I see that? Did I not see that? Slash also just, oh man, that
See,
got me too.
for me, it was a very suspenseful movie, but it was also like my thought process was like, like all these like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, they're all like, just made my elbow go numb. They're all like fictional, like, not fictional, it's all fictional. They're all like supernatural. Whereas Scream, it's just a mad high schooler who put on a mask and watched too many scary movies. It's actually like 2 of them, and they go
Yeah.
around stabbing people. So it's like, oh, that could happen.
Alrighty, so you go with Conjuring and Scream. Tony, you have My Dog Skip, Haunting of Hill House, and Saw. Who you going with your next one?
Man, I gotta pivot now. Derek, what was the one you said? Does that count? Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going Alien.
The movie Alien?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, to me, I feel like
That could be
it's-
horror because that's
it's-
kind of starting to become a real thing that I'm
No, it's
terrified
like,
of.
it's like a suspense horror. It and Predator.
Well, the difference is when you talk.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah. Also, aliens are real now, so that's something we need to start worrying about.
Well, I think like I don't know, because like it scares the living bejesus out you, but it's like sci-fi, so it's like more
Yeah.
of like the jump scares and stuff like that. To be 100% honest with you, though, like I actually feared that could kind of happen. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Buddy, I hate to tell you, but down in Mexico, they found some proof that it could.
I did see. I see this.
Yeah, I was terrified when I
Do you
saw
know that really gives me faith for pygmies? Do you know little humans that were running around, those little pygmies that they talk about and stuff? Okay, I'm a nerd.
no,
That's,
I know
that's
what-
next
I know what it
episode.
is.
Tony.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I think that's what they were. I really do. Garen Barris.
Alrighty. So then we get into you having My Dog Skip, Haunting of the Hill House, Saw, an Alien. Adam, you have Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Conjuring, and Scream. I'm gonna go with one of my. Obviously I don't know what else it could be. I'm gonna go with Paranormal Activity. That's probably one of the only scary movies I could get through because I knew it was fake. But like, I don't know. It had like a real vibe to it, obviously, with like using like security footage and the guy holding a handheld.
The first one I thought was like, it was like, oh yeah, this is like a neat idea. And then by like the second or third one, I remember going to the theaters with a couple of my friends, and like you can ask LB Ramey, a guy I went to one with, and I was like, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is
Yeah.
gonna happen. It just kind of was kind
Yeah,
of played out.
the second one I thought was really good, but kind of like you said, by the third one, it was just kind of like you're just remaking the same movie, different characters. But it was really one of the only ones I could really get behind. And then for my last pick, what was it? Man,
Twisted Metal 4.
no, I had a few ways I was gonna go here.
Brown season,
I'm gonna have to go with. Hold on.
1965 to 2020.
No, you guys.
2016 Brown season.
It just slipped my brain. All right, I'm gonna go
His
with.
name was Derek Anderson.
No, it's not Derek Anderson. I'm on full tilt mode here, guys. Give me 1 second.
Oh, he's gonna blow this pick.
I know. I gotta go
Drafted a
Halloween.
kicker.
I gotta go Halloween.
Oh, that's a steal in the late round.
Yeah, it's a classic. We're close to the Halloween time. I just gotta go. Michael Myers is also Austin Powers.
What did you
know what I mean?
pick?
Living two lives. I picked Halloween. So that's what I'm gonna go with. So I close it out with scary movies, Prom Night, Hereditary, Paranormal Activity, and Halloween.
Dude,
Tony,
I'm wrapping mine up with a good one.
you got My Dog Skip,
it's-
Haunting of the Hill House, Saw, Alien, and
Jaws.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So here's
yeah.
the deal. Again, crushed me when I was little.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Philadelphia. You got a short drive to the beach where you're there pretty often. You could shoot down there. Two, if you really look it up, the actual story and baseline of it happened in New Jersey. So it was a
that's
shark that
terrifying.
got into an area, like a bay area, and was just kind of snagging a couple people. They embellished it.
Just kind of snagging a couple people.
Dude, it was like 6 or 7. That's like a normal freaking Memorial Day weekend down there, dude. And I don't know if it's sharks or what, but people missing everywhere. Stay
All
away
right.
from AC, I promise. The AC Expressway is smooth, but there's no way back.
All
buddy.
right, so you close out with My Dog Skip, Haunting of Hill House, Saw, Alien, and Jaws. Adam, you have Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Conjuring, Scream, and
So, I just want to say I got a couple of honorable mentions. Comes at Night, great movie.
Tecumseh, I agree.
terrifying, dude. Absolutely terrifying. Based on a true story I heard.
The Jeepers Creepers movies always scared me, but my
Yes.
actual last pick is going to be a
Scarecrows.
Stephen King remake into a movie, a Netflix adaptation of Into the Tall Grass. Also has Patrick Wilson in it. It's a
All
great
right.
movie.
I don't like grass because I got to cut it every weekend.
All right, so Into the Tall Grass. I had a couple honorable mentions. One was It. I really wanted to go with It, but
Almost picked that instead
Yeah,
of
but they
Scream.
ruined it at the end. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, big spider, whoa.
yeah, that's
But
I was talking about
what's
the
that
first
one with they couldn't open their eyes? It's like Birdhouse or something.
oh, Bird Box.
Bird Box.
Yeah,
that was
I did pick it up
thrilling.
because I never watched it.
Yeah, it's not that scary, but
Yeah.
it's like more thrilling because you're just like, oh, are they gonna get eaten by
Are we
this
just going
bird?
to talk about?
pocket?
Is it?
Can I also say this? Anybody that wants to pay money to go to a hayride and get scared, like there's something wrong with you.
I agree.
Who wants to feel scared. Like, our body's made to not feel scared. And you're like, hey, here's $15. Let me stand in line for 6 hours to then go feel a way that I don't want to feel.
That's
There's
awesome.
something wrong with you
great.
people out there.
Best.
I'll be at a hayride, don't get me wrong, because I can't say no to my wife. But I'm telling you right now, there's some real sociopaths out there.
Dude,
Sounds
I'm
like he's
watching
calling
you.
somebody out.
Yeah, I feel like it's getting a little personal.
I'm watching you.
All right. Yes, a good draft here, guys. I felt like this might have been one of my favorites so far. And I'm not even a big scary movie guy.
Oh, I prepared for this one.
Yeah, finally. So we're going to wrap up the show. Thank you again for tuning in to us here at the Ride the Wave show. Coming out to you every single Monday. We have some ideas for this Wednesday's pregame show and this Friday's live stream that we'll be announcing on our socials at Ride the Wave Show 2023 on Instagram on Twitter at Ride the Wave Show on Instagram and Ride the Wave Show at Facebook. Make sure you're following that. Make sure you're checking out our website rtwavesports.com.
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 Is it rtwavesports.com?
It's my rtwavesports.com, and I need it now.
All right, so rtwavesports.com. Make sure you're checking that out for all the SVC updates for football and volleyball.
It's
we can't wait
RT
to see
Wave
you guys
Sports.
later here
Oh, man,
on the
is
Ride
this
the Wave show. Peace out, Girl Scout.
RT Wave Sports. 877 RT Wave Sports.